Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nikki LaRose. Today I wanted to share some of my favorite techniques and tricks on how to apply individual lashes. So before we get into this tutorial, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and give this video a big thumbs up. So the first step that I recommend doing is starting with 1 to 2 coats of mascara, depending on your client's lashes or your lashes. For me, my lashes are a little extra sparse lately, so I'm gonna start with 2 coats of mascara, and I'll be using the Lash mascara in Blackest Black from Buxom Cosmetics. So the brand actually sent me this mascara recently and I've been loving it, especially as a pre-individual lash mascara. And the reason why is because it's not a super messy formula, and that's really something that I suggest you take into consideration when you're applying a mascara before you do your individuals, which is what I recommend. You don't want anything that's too dramatic or too messy or too liquidy, because you don't want to start out with lashes that are coated with a mascara that looks clumpy or just too intense. You want to just have a nice fine layer just to kind of have your lashes sit on top of them, if that makes sense. You'll see what I mean in a second. So I'm going to do 1 coat to start on each of my eyes. So a technique that I think is really important and really helpful is when you're applying your first coat of mascara, you really want to get that wand into your root, and you want to make sure you saturate the root of your lashes, and then you pull it directly up for a little bit of a lift and curl. And the reason why you want to get to that root is because it's going to make your natural lash line appear much fuller. So when you're going in with your individuals, it's just going to blend so much better, and it's going to make you look like you have more lashes even without the individuals. So it's just a really good tip when you're applying your mascara. Get to the root, wiggle it, and then pull it straight up. Okay, so mascara is done. You'll notice I just did 1 coat on each side because that's really all I need. I don't want to clump them up or go too dramatic like I mentioned before I do my individuals. So 1 coat is fine. I'm going to move on now. So I want to show you a couple of my favorite brands that I use both professionally and on myself on the rare occasions that I put individual lashes on myself. One of them being Elegant Lashes. This is more of a professional brand. You can find them at beauty supplies. You can also find them easily online, which is great. So I'll make sure I link them in the description box. But these are just great, more wispy, just very soft individual lashes, very straightforward. So I'll be mixing short and medium in length. Another brand that I talk about all the time on my channel, and I use them all the time, is Monda Studio. They're a professional brand. They sell them at a couple beauty supply stores in Los Angeles. I believe they're online. I just haven't been able to find a link very easily, but I'll try again. These are great individual lashes. Another great option that is really easy to find are the Ardell individuals. They sell them everywhere. So now let's talk about glue. I have a favorite glue that I just can't live without. It doesn't have to be this particular brand, but this one is from Duo. It's more of a brush-on formula, which I think is super easy. Now, I don't actually use the brush. What I do is I open it up and then I just either scoop some out on the top of my hand or on top of a painter's palette, or you can actually take your individual lashes and just dip it directly onto the brush and then apply them. So the reason why I choose a formula like this one is it's more of a tacky formula, so it allows me to just dip my lashes into the glue and then directly apply it, whereas if I'm using more of a traditional, more of a liquid formula like this old school Duo, there's more of a drying time in between, which I'd rather skip that. And also, this has extremely great hold. So if you want your lashes to stay on through a windy day or even jumping in the pool, honestly, this will stay on. Whereas this one, not so much. The next tool that I recommend you have on hand is a good pair of tweezers. This one is from MAC. I've loved these tweezers for so long, since I was a MAC girl. There's just something about them. They have such great grip. They're not super pointy and they're really not super sharp, which is good. You don't want to stab your eyes when you're using tweezers. Anyway, taking my favorite tweezers from MAC and my lash glue, I'm going to open up my lash glue, make sure I have a good amount on the wand. What's great about this one in particular, not all of them have, not all these formulas have a brush like this. This isn't even a brush, it's almost like a little, shelf. So if you lay it flat, there's a whole bunch of glue right there, just waiting to have some individuals placed on it. So I'm just gonna take a couple of my short length ones and just pop them on the side of my hand so they're nice and ready to go when I am. So I'm just gonna pop a couple of these on my hand to start. And here's where it's gonna get tricky to show on camera because I need to hold and do a couple of different things all at the same time. I'll be holding my glue and a mirror, all while keeping some lashes on the top of my hand. So take my tweezers, I'm gonna grab one at a time, dip it into my glue. And like I mentioned earlier, there's no drying down time with this glue. I can go straight from the glue to my lashes and they'll stick, which is key. So I'll be starting with the short length and then going in with the medium where I want more length and a little more drama. Moving on to the medium length, I'll only be placing a couple of these where I want a little more length and a little more volume. Another good tip that I think is more flattering is not going super long in length on the very end of your lashes. If you go super long or even just long enough, it could actually create a shadow and bring down the corner of your eye, which is again the opposite of what you're trying to do. You're trying to open up your eyes, you're trying to get them to lift up. And so if you go too long or too dramatic on the outer corner of your eye, it can create a shadow and just really bring down the appearance of your eye. So stick to shorter length, it's gonna be a little more flattering. So I'm finished with the medium length. I only did 3 of them and I really focused them pretty much going straight up towards my brow bone. And that again is just gonna give me a really pretty open-eyed effect. So before I move on to my next eye, I'm gonna take a step back and I'm gonna look in my mirror, and this is where I'm gonna evaluate and just kind of reassess and make sure that I'm happy with the length, the thickness, the fullness. And so for me, I'm looking at my lashes and I could use a little more just right here and then just right at the very end. So I'm gonna add just 2 more short length. So now that my individual lashes are applied to this eye, I'm gonna go in, and this is another one of my favorite tips when you're applying individual lashes or even strip lashes, and that is to go in and tight line your top lash line. I'll be using a black pencil from Makeup Forever. You could also, of course, use a really dark brown as well. This one's just gonna show up a little more on camera so you'll really get to see the difference. So I'll be taking this and tucking it straight into my top lash line and really wiggling it in between my lashes to just get a nice even layer throughout. So once I get that initial line all the way across my top lash line, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna kind of wiggle my pencil in between where I see any gaps of skin where I don't have the lashes connecting to my lashes. This is just gonna help to blend them so they're more seamless and you can really not detect them. Another great technique to blend your individual lashes or even your strip lashes is to take either a dark brown shadow or a black shadow and a small flat angle brush, and what you're going to do is just very lightly line the top where they are, and then that's just going to help to blend them so they're nice and seamless. So let me show you that. So for this, any dark brown eyeshadow will do. I'm just grabbing one from one of my favorite palettes. This one's kind of old school. It's from MAC. It's the Semi-Sweet ×9 palette. And again, you could use any dark brown or even a black eyeshadow that you have on hand. And I'll be using just a flat angle brush. This one is from Zoeva. It's a 322 brow liner brush. So I'm using a really flat, thin brush because I'm not trying to create like an actual liner. I'm really just trying to tuck this into my lash line just to blend that lash line even more. And you can see I'm not dragging it along my lash line. I'm really getting in there and I'm stamping it into my lash line instead. And with this, it's important not to just take it and drag it across your lash line. I'm really just taking that and I'm pressing it and stamping it into my lash line to blend. Last but not least, I'll be going in with one more coat of mascara, and what this is going to do is really make sure that my lashes are blended into the false lashes, so that way they're nice and seamless. I'll also be applying this to my bottom lashes as well, just to really tie the look in together. I think it looks kind of disjointed if you just have like full set of lashes on the top and then nothing on the bottom. So take the time and apply some bottom mascara, and it really ties the look together. And also it makes your eyes look even bigger. Using the same technique as I did with my first coat of mascara, I'm gonna take the wand, I'm gonna get it to the root of my lashes, and I'm gonna wiggle it straight, this time into my false lashes to blend them. And since I don't have individual lashes towards the inner part of my eye, I'm gonna make sure that these little lashes are not left out and they're thoroughly coated with mascara to help blend them into the rest of my lashes. Okay, so this side of my eye is complete. My lashes are on, my mascara is on, and you'll notice too, they have a really nice curl to them. And that's because if you utilize that technique I showed earlier with taking your mascara wand, really getting to the root of your lashes, wiggling it back and forth, and then pulling it straight up, it gives you such an amazing lift and curl without having to go in with an actual lash curler. But if that's not holding your lashes up on their own, some people have straighter lashes that want to just kind of go down. I suggest getting a half lash curler. This will make your life so much easier if you're trying to curl your lashes when you have individuals or a strip on. It's completely open-ended, so it really allows you to just get in there and place it where you need it. So now that this eye is complete, I'm gonna finish this eye off camera and then I'll be right back. So here's the finished look. I have individuals on both sides now. I really want to film this video for you guys just to share my tried and true tricks and techniques on how to apply individual lashes. These are techniques I've picked up along the years of doing makeup on clients and on myself, and I really find these tips and techniques to be super helpful when you're applying individuals, because we all know they can be pretty frustrating to do on yourself especially. Leave me a comment below if you have any other questions on how I apply these lashes. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I'm at Makeup by Nikki LaRose, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.